Hello everyone, it is I, Mark Major, yes, that Mark Major, and we are here at the Action Figuratorium. That is a physical place you can go to and visit. I'm there right now, trust me. I'm a real big toy collector. I'm also a owner-operator here of a studio hunkered down in Southeast Portland. I have my photography studio built in the very back of my video facility that has hosted a series of great entertainers who shot music videos here, such as Kimbra, a Grammy-winning artist, Blitzen Trapper, Dan Reed has shot music videos here. Jarv D is a rapper out of Seattle. He's done a lot of videos here. These are just some of the people. Also check out the band Joseph. It's three girls who are on Dave Matthews' record label. They did 2 videos in one day, back to back. That was a lot of fun. We put them on the turntable. So this is a real place, people. I know some people are like, oh, it can't be a real place. No, it's a real place. You should check it out. In fact, I'll put a link to a playlist. That's right, a playlist in the description. You check it out on your own. Now, as far as what we're going to be doing today here in the Action Figuratorium, normally we go out on the internet and we find people to hate on. That's what YouTubers do. However, today is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to goof on me. Let me give you the backstory and explain to you guys exactly where we're going with this. So, there is a professional comic book artist out there by the name of Shane Davis. He's kind of a bigwig in the industry in that he worked for DC Comics. He is a penciler. He draws. And he's done some pretty big titles while at DC. However, now he has gone, he's gone free agent. He self-publishes, meaning he writes his own stories, he pencils his own stories, he publishes them himself, he fulfills them himself, and he does quite well. So what is interesting about Shane Davis is that he has created a character called Mange. Now, for the sake of the elevator pitch, let's just say that Mange is kind of a parody of the Tiger King. Some differences along the way, but let's just say he's a parody of the Tiger King. Now, here's what's interesting about the character. He doesn't necessarily exist on paper. This character is actually an alter ego of Shane himself. It's kind of a cosplay thing he does when he's on live streams or when he goes to comic conventions. He dresses up as Mange. It's this kind of a Tiger King type guy, sort of a masculine, macho dude. You know, he's got some kind of like, animal creature with him. In the t-shirt design, he's got a tiger, but, usually he's got like an owl with him, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if I whipped up, to some degree, a Mange action figure? I mean, this is the Action Figuratorium, is it not? I believe it is. And so I did exactly that. Now, here's where it gets pretty great. Shane and some other professional comic book artists on a live stream took a look at the picture that I posted on Twitter, which was, kind of for the sake of like focus group tests, see if there's any interest, because mine's just a conceptual mock-up, and I'm going to show you some other famous conceptual mock-ups too, to see where see where I'm going with this. And these guys laid into it, and it is absolutely great, and that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to play that little clip that they did, a little 3-minute bit of them savaging my Mange action figure, and I think everyone's going to really enjoy it. So everybody, this is the one where you're all going to come together, strap on your leather, and you're going to hold on tight. All right, so first of all, let's see who exactly Mange is, so you can see how close or unclose I get with the figure that I came up with. And let's do our little thing where we go to browser view. Here we are. Browser view is great, in my opinion. So, this is an image search for Shane Davis Mange, and you can see this is a great sort of thumbnail of him. He's got some sort of tiger outfit on and some kind of a sort of, I call it the pig pen hat, because that was the guy in the Grateful Dead who wore his hat sort of up like this. Later on, the guy from the band Ministry, Al Jorgensen, wore it kind of like that. So this is something like that, and of course that kind of 80s sort of wrap around, Kerry King, Slayer, sunglasses. And also, let's take a look at the design on the shirt, because this was also an influence. You can see it there. There we go. So he draws him as kind of like that, except he adds macho on the belt buckle, and his orange pants, and of course goes with sort of the tiger look, that kind of thing. So that's Mange. Okay, now what you need to realize before I show you the Mange I created is how you do a mock-up and why you do a mock-up. You do a mock-up, right, because it's cheap, and it lets you know if you're going in the right direction. It tells you if it's interesting, if it's working, if it's something that is, you know, going to be worth putting more time in. If I'm going to work on this action figure and it's going to end up being stuff that I 3D print for them, right, where it looks like that's the way it's heading, or if it's some kind of a thing where I got to do like a mold and a resin pour, you know, you want to like knock it out first. So here is the image search for what is called Kenner mock-ups. So when Kenner got the license for Star Wars and they found it was a big hit, they were not prepared, and so when they went to the drawing board, they decided that what they were going to do is they were going to sort of ape the look and style of the existing Fisher-Price adventure people, okay? So what they did is they took some of these adventure people and they mocked them up, they, you know, repainted them, etc., to look like Star Wars people. And kind of here's a shot of it from a book that covers sort of rare Kenner Star Wars toys. You can see that these were adventure people and they got repainted. Also, if you go to this blog over here, TokyoBastard.blogspot, he's got some of the original adventure people there on the left, and then you can see the mock-up of an Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this guy right here, I would actually kind of like to get this guy. He's called Space Commander, and he's sort of like George Lucas, right? But he's not like George Lucas of 1978. He's like George Lucas today. And some more of the pics there. So let's take a look now at what I did, which was to take, not an adventure person from Fisher-Price, but I took one of the competitors, Tonka, and this figure that I have, who's known as Play People. Now, the reason I use this guy, and let's click to him, is because he had a hat, which you need a cowboy hat to do Mange, and he had sunglasses. Now, the beard is a bit tough, but I figured I could work with it. So what did I do? Okay, remember the t-shirt, the orange pants? Gave him orange pants, not a problem, right? Hat, great. We colored it brown with some red stripes, just like the t-shirt. I cannot do tiger stripes. I actually spent an afternoon practicing with a little Sharpie pen. How to do tiger stripes are quite difficult. So if I was to actually do real tiger stripes, it would probably be a print on decal, or maybe what's a kind of a stamp, you know, like a tampo, like, you know, like it's, you push it down and it's sort of gummy, you know, it's sort of soft, pushes against it, that kind of thing. It's how they do porcelain, right? It's how they stamp porcelain. So you can do some kind of a stamp on it or some kind of a decal, something like that. But this is just the sake of a mock-up. And of course, yeah, it's going to get marked down, and it looks terrible, but it was an attempt to add some kind of stripes. I think if I had to do it over again, I would have just said, screw it, and let's do leopard spots, because much easier to draw. So, also, the reason why it looks kind of terrible is because as I was drawing them on, they did look good at first, but then they smeared. And I thought about going back, and then I was like, I think we're going to just see how far we get with this. Of course, a little bit of chrome pen on the glasses, and as you can see, what I did is I took flesh paint and I painted the beard, right? This is very important because he kind of gets mocked for having sort of a thick jaw, sort of a, you know, Sergeant Slaughter looking jaw. And then I just painted in with the Sharpie, the fine Sharpie, just the mustache. Okay, and here's what it looks like on the back. And you can see that this Tonka guy is not particularly rare, particularly sought after. I actually have two of these guys. In fact, you're looking at one there, you're looking at the other one there, and the paint comes off these guys real easy, and they're not really worth any money. So let's look at the finished product that we posted. I decided to put them on a little desert scene, my diorama kit that you guys have probably seen on my Instagram. There is a matching orange motorcycle with flames. I thought that was a nice choice. I didn't really get any points for that, it turns out. And since I mentioned that he has a pet familiar, he has an owl, I added the owl, and I happen to have had the owl because I recently bought the Boss Fight Studio Athena action figure, and it comes with an owl, which is clutch. As you can see there, I had to use a little bit of white stickiness to get it to go on the on the arm. And what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the segment. Let me plug in my headphones here. We're going to watch the segment of them looking on. This is a show called Comicsgate Kings on the Comic Artist Pro Secrets. That's the Ethan Van Sciver channel. He was a former DC Comics artist, as well as also a penciler for Marvel for a while, as well as starting out as an indie. He has since left those big mainstream businesses and gone solo himself, and his comics do quite well. His crowdfunds hit over $1 million, and he squeezes even more money out of people with endless variant covers. This guy has the marketing down. So let's see what these guys have to say. Also, John Malin is in the list here. He used to work for Marvel. I think he used to draw the Cable comic book. I think Cable is kind of like a Deadpool villain that got his own sort of spin-off, sort of like what they did with Venom. So here we go, people. Let's strap in for this, shall we? Audio is on. Let's roll.
They didn't, but
yeah, it's kind of like the Berserk thing with Keanu Reeves. You know.
All right, here it's up.
They're making moves. Here's my action figure, John.
Wow, Shane, look at that. That's Mange Davis with Woden shot the owl.
Doesn't even look like him.
Oh,
like Sergeant
harsh.
Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter out of the gate.
You gotta start from a base that is realistic to my body proportions. You would take a Sergeant.
All right,
Slaughter
good pivot
figure
by
and
Shane,
work
trying to
off of that, John.
defend his figure.
Sure you
Roman
would,
jaw,
but-
the broad shoulders. Yeah, I see it.
Strong chin.
Goofing.
Yeah.
The original Tonka
Yeah,
guy
that
looks like
exactly like you, Shane. Despite what John
Hank
Malin
Williams
says, I
II.
knew right away that was you. You know, it's Mange Davis. Woden shot the owl. Is
See?
the owl named Woden shot?
recognizes the owl. Good points for that.
Yeah, I've already trademarked and copyrighted.
I don't think he's
Woden
trademarked
shot?
those
Yeah,
guys.
that was smart.
Yeah,
I like how they use the fish tank decorations in the background. There.
Okay, good point. Those those came from Goodwill.
Yeah, Woden shot says,
Those are
I
great.
need me. So he wants the action figure of himself, which is the owl there.
So someone in the
He said,
chat
"No, he
actually is
said, "And you."
cos
So he
is
wants your
pretending to be
action
the
figure,
owl.
too.
It's probably
Shane,
Shane's
this looks
wife.
like a PTP action figure to me.
Oh, PT.
We're gonna. Well, we'll do. a
So
little
PTP is a another comic book artist who does his own action figures, and they're actually produced by Ramen Toy, believe it or not. Riot Press and Ramen Toy have a collaboration, so they're kind of like poking at that guy a little bit, who they have some little bit of beef with. Not real beef, but everyone's kind of, you got to have some fun beef on the internet to get blood going. Let's keep going.
bit better than that.
Yeah, do a
How
lot
are you
better
doing
than that.
better than that? He's already got the lower half of him is already borrowed from Johnny Phantasm and that chunky crotch area.
So I don't think they realize that this is a 70s action figure that's just been repainted. Maybe they assume that everybody is like working in 3D models and printing, which I guess maybe they are.
That he's got there.
Yeah.
That looks like a Johnny Phantasm toy with your head attached to it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, what if PTP made this?
If PTP tries to steal your Mange identity to make an action figure, that's when he will have gone too far.
Wait, God,
What?
come on. Yeah. You just get a Tiger King action figure and you call it Mange.
So are there Tiger King action figures? Like maybe Super 7 has one out. I doubt NECA does. We should look that up. I probably should have known that before I went in. I assume that there isn't, but there could be. There's, some bootleg out there. Etsy maybe.
Is there a
then,
Tiger King
and
action
then,
figure?
then
I don't see
Patrick
them.
can just steal what you've stolen.
Kid, that's still stealing. If I steal and he steals from me, he's still stealing.
Every time Shane goes to these conventions and people run up to him that don't know who he is, they think he's the Tiger King.
But is it stealing if you steal from a thief? Isn't it just called paying it forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Shane Davis is worse than PTP in a lot of ways? Because, like, PTP is just stealing people's IPs, like, and repainting them and stuff and doing it in a weird way. But Shane is actually stealing somebody's
Someone's identity, right? He's an identity.
Damn.
He's
Now
locked
they're
up.
now
They
they've
don't
pivoted
There's
from my
laws
action
against
figure
that.
onto Shane
No,
Davis.
there's not. I'm not
Yeah.
out here fucking cashing, bouncing checks off somebody's name. I'm not writing checks under Tiger King or something.
You could be murdering somebody, and who are they going to say murdered me? Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Tiger King did, yeah. They're gonna think it was Tiger King naturally.
All right,
They're
this
gonna
has
think.
This has probably gone the wrong
I
direction
don't
for
know,
Shane.
buddy.
We're gonna
I
redeem
like
him
it.
though.
My one thing is like the wheel guard. Is that what it's called on the front tire?
It's called a fender.
That really seems like it's gonna scratch against the ground.
Use the word fender, and it's just a toy.
You know what I mean? You do any kind of you hit a
I
bump.
I
it's
doubt
gonna-
that guy can
sparks are
even
gonna fly.
sit
Maybe
on
that's
that
what you
bike.
want, but I
He has
wouldn't
no
want that.
knees.
You know, it's gonna come
Bendy
off
knees.
eventually. It's gonna
You
fly
build a
off.
better bike, Shane. Come on.
I like how they're ripping
Better
on
than
him
a fender, yeah.
for the bike now.
This figure I noticed doesn't have any bending knees. What do you call that? Articulation on the knees. Like, how is he gonna
Yeah,
sit
no
on
dick
them?
sucking
Again, they
knees.
don't realize this is a Tonka action figure, which I love about
He can bend
this.
over though, so that's good. I don't know, Shane. I would say this to you, and I mean this sincerely.
Right.
We need a Mange Davis action figure.
Yes, we do.
And
That's
Wogan
why I'm
Shot the
working
Owl
on it.
Is great. This is a good first start.
Okay, good. Good.
First good swing, but like
I
you
like
know, we're
hearing
gonna
this.
need to go back. We're gonna need to work on it. You don't have a square, chunky face like the bitch that directed Acolyte. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
You look like that woman there. So we got to get your face down. We got to get it right, and a few other details just to make it a little bit more Mange. I
Yeah.
think we could sell a few of them.
Probably
You're not a bodybuilder, Shane. Like
That's
at all.
not.
all right. So, there it is. The laying into of the action figure, and notice how quickly they turned on Shane as if like it was his idea. But let you guys know that I do have a new figure that we're working on to replace the old Mange, and we're starting with this. Starting with this guy. So since they were talking about some sort of like, you know, needs to have kind of realistic, look at this. This is what we're going to use as our base. Now to do one of these, we're going to have to actually go out and get real clothes. We're going to have to find orange pants. We're going to have to find some sort of a weird fruity coat. We're going to have to find hat and glasses. Of course, we're going to have to add mustaches to him. And this is just the beginning. He's going to need a little bit of sanding and a little bit of a couple more coats of paint to get the realism down. But I think once you see that this Mange here that we're working on is the real deal, well, then people are going to come around to this idea, and I'm going to be there at the forefront leading it. So thanks to everybody who made it this far into the vid. I think you know who you are. We're almost near 1,000 subscribers. Thanks everyone who subscribed, and we need your help to get to 1,000. And only with your help, if you're a non-subscriber, can we get there. I look forward to your subscription, and always something in the comments is quite delightful. So stay charged, everybody.